Welcome to the deep dive. If you've ever ordered anything online or, bought groceries, you've seen the work of a machine that is absolutely essential. I'm talking about forklift.
The unsung hero of commerce.
Exactly. It's the absolute, often overlooked backbone of how everything moves. You might hear it called a lift truck, a jitney, a fork hoist.
All kinds of names.
But today, we are doing a deep dive into what it actually takes to operate one. We've got our hands on the official training documentation from an accredited provider in South Africa. So we're giving you a shortcut, really. A look into the certifications, the costs, the safety, and what it really takes to get hired.
And this is so important because it's so much more than just, driving. It's a really high-stakes role.
High stakes how?
Well, you're directly impacting inventory, stocking, and most importantly, safety. The certification ensures that the person behind the wheel is a safety expert first and a driver second.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We know the job is crucial for moving goods, loading trucks, all that. But why is the certification mandatory? Is it just bureaucracy?
No, not at all. It is entirely about safety. These machines, especially with heavy loads, they're dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You're dealing with huge mass, unstable loads, blind spots. The mandate is there to make sure operators can mitigate those risks for themselves and for everyone else on the warehouse floor.
And this isn't just some weekend workshop, is it? The documentation points to a really formal academic structure.
Oh, absolutely. It's highly structured. The official title is Operate Counterbalance Lift Truck, and it's registered with the South African Qualifications Authority.
Yes. SAQ.
That's the one, SAQ USID
Yeah.
242974.
And that SAQA registration is key, right? It means it's a national standard.
It is. It's set at NQF level 03, and it carries 7 credits. That NQF level 3 tells an employer you've hit a specific, measurable professional standard. It gives the whole thing real weight.
Okay, that makes sense. But before you even get to the training, there are some prerequisites. Besides the usual things like an ID and your own PPE, which is compulsory,
Right.
there's an academic hurdle.
Yes, and this is where it gets really interesting. For what most people see as a hands-on job, you have to prove competence in communication and mathematical literacy at NQF level 1.
That's fascinating. Why math and literacy for a job that's so physical? Why not just get straight to the driving part?
Because safe operation is all about calculation. Think about it. You need to read complex safety manuals, maintenance logs, and, this is the big one, interpret a load specification plate.
The little data plate on the machine.
Exactly. It has all the technical data weight limits, leverage, height. You need that NQF level 1 math to quickly figure out if a certain load at a certain height is going to be safe.
Yeah.
And literacy to understand the instructions if something goes wrong.
So reading and basic math are the hidden keys to not tipping the machine over.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's the key to safety.
Okay, let's shift to the logistics, the time and the money. The duration seems surprisingly standard.
It is. If you're completely new to this, you're looking at a full week of training. About 3 to 5 days, usually. It's very intensive.
A full week. But what if you're an experienced operator who just needs the paper?
Then it's much faster. For a recertification or a refresher, it can be as quick as 4 hours of training, and then you do a 1-day assessment.
And that's called RPL, right? Recognition of prior learning.
Exactly. RPL is for the operators who learned on the job. Instead of making them do the whole week again, they just have to demonstrate their skills in that 1-day assessment. It's a system that respects experience.
Okay, now for the cost. The source material lays out a very specific pricing structure, and it seems to be linked to the power of the machine you're learning on.
Yes, it's tied directly to the rated load capacity. They're broken down into F1 through F4 license classes.
So let's break that down. What's the entry-level cost?
For an F1 license, which is the most common one, it covers loads up to 3,000 kilograms. It starts from around R1000.
That feels pretty accessible. R1000 for a national qualification that can get you a job is a solid investment.
It is. Then it steps up. The F2 license, for machines up to 7,000 kilograms, that's about R1500. Then the F3, for up to 15,000 kilograms, is R2000.
So incremental increases. But then there's this huge jump. The F4 license for anything over 15,000 kilos, it leaps all the way to R6,500. Why such a big price hike?
That jump tells you everything you need to know about the risk.
Okay.
Lifting over 15 metric tons, that's a whole different ballgame. The physics, the stability, the inertia, it's incredibly complex. The training has to be much more specialized to prevent a catastrophic accident, that price signals to an employer that you are trained for high-risk, high-value work.
So the risk is literally baked into the training fee.
Yeah.
And for renewals, that RPL assessment.
Much cheaper. Depending on the license, you're looking at anywhere from R600 up to R1500 for that one-day assessment.
Good to know. Okay, let's get into the actual training content. The sources say it's 20% theory and a massive 80% practical.
And that 80% is critical. This isn't like driving a car. You are actively managing the machine's center of gravity with every move. You have to understand the principles of a counterbalanced lift truck.
Right, that word counterbalanced is key, isn't it?
It's everything. The machine's own weight is acting as a counterbalance to the load on the forks. If you lift a load too high or tilt it too far forward, the whole thing can pivot over the front wheels and tip over. That 80% is about mastering that balancing act.
So what's one of the first things they drill into you?
Reading that load specification plate. It's not optional. It tells you the max load, max height, where the center of gravity needs to be.
And if you get that wrong?
You have a tip over, a catastrophic failure. The training is relentless on this point.
Yeah.
You never ever exceed what's on that plate.
And beyond the physics, what about the day-to-day stuff?
It's all about process. You start every shift with a rigorous daily check. Use a checklist, you log everything, you check hydraulics, forks, brakes, tires, horns, lights. If it doesn't pass the check, the machine does not operate, period.
You're basically the first line of maintenance.
Absolutely. And then there's specific training for the power source. Refueling a diesel truck has strict rules, designated areas, no smoking, no passengers.
Of course.
And for electric trucks, handling those massive corrosive batteries requires its own special PPE and procedures. It's all about preventing the top 3 causes of accidents: operator error, bad maintenance, and poor training.
And let's clarify the renewal cycle. It's not an annual thing, right?
That's right. It's a common misconception. The license itself expires every 2 years, so you must renew it then. But refresher training, that only happens if an operator is found to be unsafe or gets a bad evaluation, or if the workplace changes significantly.
So it's performance-based, not calendar-based.
Yes, exactly. All right. So you've done the training, you got the certificate. What about the job itself? Our source mentioned some surprising perks from the training provider.
Yes, this was a great value add. They offer free accommodation for the week of training. You have to bring your own food, but still, that's a huge help for people traveling from out of town. A huge help. And even better, they offer job assistance.
Which is massive. They actively help with your CV and send it to potential employers and recruiters. That direct line into the industry is invaluable when you're just starting out.
So for a fully certified NQF Level 3 operator, what does the pay look like?
Well, jobs are everywhere. Warehouses, factories, distribution centers. The sources say the typical salary is around R7,000 per month.
R7,000 a month, and what's the range?
It's pretty broad. It can start as low as, say, R5,290 for an entry-level role, but it can go up to R12,000 a month for experienced or specialized operators.
What gets you to that R12,000 mark?
Specialization. Mastering that F4 license for the massive loads, working in a high-pressure environment like a shipping port. Employers will pay a premium for a very specific skill set.
And what are those skills?
Thus is the same blend: meticulous maintenance checks, careful driving, absolute obsession with safety, and a deep understanding of inventory flow packing, stocking, loading, unloading, without error.
You really are a mechanic, a logistics pro, and a safety officer all rolled into one.
That's the job.
So to recap the big takeaways for you, the listener, this certification is mandatory in South Africa. It's a standardized NQF Level 3 qualification. The price is tied directly to the machine's capacity, and your license is on a 2-year renewal cycle.
And, that brings us back to that one requirement we talked about at the start. The fact that to do this very hands-on technical job, you first have to prove your competence in communication and math.
It's so surprising.
It is, and it raises a really important question for you to think about. In a world that's all about heavy machinery and automation, how often are those foundational academic skills, reading a chart, understanding a formula, how often are they the unexpected key to getting ahead in a technical career? It seems that basic literacy and math aren't just for school. They might just be the invisible foundation for mastering safety and unlocking the best-paying, most specialized technical jobs out there.
Something to think about the next time you see a forklift in action. Thank you for joining us for the deep dive.